A 4-day work week. Is it the future? There's something special about a long weekend. Having not just 2, but 3 whole days off can really help a person unwind. But for some people, a long weekend is every weekend. That's the idea behind the 4-day work week. The way a 4-day work week is enabled can be different depending on the country or company. People might need to do a 10-hour shift for 4 days, to total 40 hours. In some places, the actual number of weekly hours is reduced. There is a study of a 4-day work week that comes from the UK. In this trial, employees followed the 100-80-100 model. Workers received 100% of their salary, worked 80% of their regular hours, but still did 100% of their work. After the trial, 92% of the companies had few complaints. They found the 4-day work week superior and decided to keep it. This would suggest that a 4-day work week is the better option. But there are a few things to consider.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English for You. I'm Mike.
And I'm Laura.
And today, Laura, we're going to be starting our article about a 4-day work week.
Yay! Is it really going to happen? I want that.
That would be great news for a lot of people, but maybe not all good news for every person. But it is something that a lot of people have been talking about in different countries.
Is it the future?
That's right. Different countries and different companies are starting to do this more and more.
Nice.
So that kind of explains the question in our title, is it the future? It might not be the present for most people. In the present, in the time we live now, a 5-day work week is still the standard, but more companies are changing and more people are starting to think that maybe this is a good idea. So today and tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the ins, the outs, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, about a 4-day work week.
I can't wait.
Would you like to have a 4-day work week?
Of course I do.
Well, this is only a 2-day article, so that's only 2 of the days. Maybe if we only do this article, we'll have a 2-day work week.
And then we get to our day offs, the long weekend.
And then we'll have no money, too. That's a tough choice, isn't it? Anyway, the 4-day work week. Is it the future? Let's check out our article and find out if it's a future we would like to live in. The article begins by saying there's something special about a long weekend. All right, well, we might not all agree about everything about the 4-day work week, but I think everyone can agree that a long weekend is fun. As it says, as it explains, having not just 2, but 3 whole days off can really help a person unwind. And yeah, that's a long weekend when you have 3, usually 3. I guess you could say, a 4-day weekend, but those aren't so common.
No.
But getting a Friday or a Monday off is not too strange. It happens, a few times a year. And it's special. A lot of people enjoy it. People have more time off, and that can really help people to unwind.
I like this word. Unwind. 大家有没有觉得，因为 wind 就是发紧、拉紧条那种感觉，所以 unwind 就是放松、relax、休息。那它的动词3态的变化是 unwind、unwound。所以课文一开始就提到说，哇，这个 long weekend 也就是长周末。有一种特别的魅力，拥有不止2天，而是整整3天的休息时间，真的能帮助一个人放松下来。大家是不是也非常期待 a 4-day work week？ Work week 其实在我们的主题就是在讲这个字哦，就是表示工作周，1周的工作时间。你们觉得4天是不是比较赞呢？ Okay, so yeah. And I think a long weekend is what I need right now.
I think a lot of people would love that, especially if you could have one every weekend.
Ooh.
And that's kind of what a 4-day week would create, right?
Yeah.
It says next, though, but for some people, a long weekend is every weekend. These are the lucky folks who have already adopted or already chosen to go by a 4-day week. So for them, especially compared to the rest of us, unlucky people. For them, every weekend is a long weekend, and as it explains, that's the idea behind the 4-day work week. Yeah, basically, you go to work from Monday to Thursday instead of Friday, and then your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those 3 days are your weekend. Every single week.
I want
52
that.
weeks a year.
Love it. 但是对于一些人来说，他们每个周末都是 long weekend 长周末，那这就是4天工作周的理念。我们赶紧来听听看，到底这是怎么的发生，怎么运作哦。
Now, of course, it isn't very normal these days. It doesn't become very common. But it says the way a 4-day work week is enabled can be different depending on the country or company. Yeah, in many parts of the world.
Sense.
Right. I mean, in most places, even if you've never been to Argentina, you probably know that Saturday and Sunday, banks will be closed. People will have a day off. It's pretty standard, right? Monday to Friday and then Saturday and Sunday. That's the way we break up our week. But with a 4-day work week, it's not official. It's not sort of government policy or rule. And the people who are doing it are kind of doing it on their own. It depends on the country, or more commonly, it depends on which company you work for, who your boss is. So it can change depending on the situation. And that's how we use that phrase there.
实现4天工作周的方式根据国家或是公司而异。Depending on something 就是根据的意思哦。
So if you're lucky enough to have a 4-day work week because of your country or your company's different rules, it can actually be sort of organized in different ways. There's not a standard. As it says, people might need to do a 10-hour shift for 4 days to total 40 hours. All right, 40 hours of work is pretty normal. And in most countries where they have a 5-day work week, that means, do the simple math, 40 divided by 5. Yes, you work about 8 hours a day. But in this place, where you might have a 4-day work week, you will do the same amount of work, same 40 hours every week, but each day will be 2 hours longer, and that will give you Friday off.
所以有些地方人们可能需要每天轮班工作10个小时，连续4天哦，这样就可以达到总共40个小时的工作时间哦。Shift 就是轮班。
Now, everyone just heard Laura said that she wouldn't mind a 4-day work week of 10-hour days. I think she may have spoken a little too soon because that doesn't have to be the way it is. How about this? In some places, the actual number of weekly hours is reduced.
What?
So you don't even have to do 40 hours. They might take it down to 35 hours or something. And so each day will be shorter than 10 hours. But it all is sort of what they add up. It all means that's how much you will do each week or weekly. And here we see this adjective weekly. Weekly, that's week with an ly on the end. It might look like an adverb, but here it's an adjective. Weekly just means it happens once a week. All right, so Mondays happen weekly. They happen once a week. You might go to the bank weekly or something like that. A lot of people go to the grocery store and buy a lot of their food once a week, or they do it weekly, just meaning happening once or every week. For example, Tammy and her friend will meet on Sunday for their weekly game of tennis. So they play tennis once a week on Sundays.
OK， 所以在有一些地方，哇，更棒哎！实际每周工作时数则会减少，所以不一定要工作到40个小时。Weekly 就是一周的、每周的 ，OK。那当然呢，每天 daily、monthly 就是每个月的 ，yearly 就是每年的。我们来造个例句哦，用 weekly。I look forward to my weekly movie night with friends.And it's always a relief to finish my weekly chores and have a clean house since I'm moving recently.
Oh, yes, definitely something you want to do weekly. Clean your home, clean your clothes, clean all those things.
Declutter.
Absolutely. And another way to declutter is to reduce the number of things or the amount of stuff that you have. When you reduce, you just take it from a higher number down to a lower number, or from a larger number down to a smaller number. So if you're throwing things away, like your old old shoes that you don't wear. You are reducing the number of shoes. If you spend money, you will be reducing the amount of money you have in the bank. And of course, between the summer and the winter, the temperatures will reduce. They will go from high temperatures in summer to low temperatures in winter, getting smaller. For example, Facebook reduced its number of employees last year. That's right. I think they fired like 10 or 20,000 people.Reduce
就是减少、降低，它是一个动词。像是我今年有很多健康的一个目标哦。I need to reduce the amount of junk food I eat and start eating healthier.
All right, back to the article. Here's a way we could do a 4-day work week, and this sounds pretty good to me. There is a study of a 4-day work week that comes from the UK. In this trial, employees followed the 180-100 model. And we'll get to what that exactly means in a second.
OK, 所以有一个关于4天工作的研究是来自英国。那在这项试验当中，员工们他们遵循了180、100模式，我们待会会来再进一步来看到底是什么。那 come from something 当然就是来自。那其中我们还看到这个我们很重要的单字就是 employee。就是员工、受雇者。How do I use this word?
An employee is just a worker. So if you go to a company, a business, a store, anywhere where there are people doing a job, you are probably talking to an employee. If you are the only worker in your own company, I guess you are your own employee. But usually an employee has a boss or a manager. Someone hires them. They do the work. They get paid at the end of the week or the end of the month. But you still work for the company, so you're still an employee. For example, the employees at the airport will go on strike next week to ask for higher pay.
There's another word that people often get confused with employee, which is employer. That's the opposite, 就是雇主. Now we're going to find out what this model would mean. 180, 100.
That's exactly what they called the way they tried it in the UK. So what does it mean? It means workers received 100% of their salary, worked 80% of their regular hours, but still did 100% of their work. So they're basically saying, can we all do the same job, but just in less time? The salary is the money that you get probably paid by week or by month for a job that you do. If you're an employee and they pay you 100,000 NT dollars a month, that would be your salary. It's not usually measured by hour. So if you're working in a store or a restaurant and you get like 150 NT per hour, that would be your wage. Your salary is a little bit more just based on this is your job, this is what we pay you every month. For example, Doug gave up a big salary working as a lawyer to open an animal rescue center.Salary
就是薪水哦，所以刚刚是有提到说工人们会获得100%的薪资，那工作时间缩减到正常工时的80%，但是人要完成100%的工作量哦。那其中提到的 regular hours 的 regular 就是一般的、平常的。
All right, back to this 180-100 experiment or trial. Bunch of companies tried it in the UK. What did they think? After the trial, it says 92% of the companies had few complaints. Wow, that's amazing. So 92% of the companies thought that worked pretty well.
That's a lot.
They didn't have a lot to complain about, a lot to be unhappy about. When you complain about or something, or you're unhappy about something, what you are saying is your complaint. So if you're unhappy with a certain situation and you say, I don't like this, and here's what I don't like, that is your complaint. It's the noun form of the verb to complain. For example, the restaurant had many complaints about how dirty it was and how rude the staff were.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe they need a long weekend.
Yep. Okay, 所以竟然在试验结束后，92%的公司几乎都没有抱怨诶。接着我们来看一下哦 ，They found the 4-day work week superior and decided to keep it. And here we have our language in focus. 当我们用 find 或是 leave 或是 keep， 那后面我们一定要再加上受词以及受词补语。那受词补语用来补充说明受词的状态。 常使用到的有形容词和介系词片语等等哦。我觉得这样讲，大家可能会觉得好像有点难，所以当然要造个例句会更清楚哦。For example, after a long day at work, I couldn't wait to take off my heels and keep my feet cozy in slippers. 这里就是 keep 再接一个受词，就是 my feet, 然后后面接形容词 cozy, 就是在工作了一整天之后，我迫不及待把高跟鞋脱下，让我的脚舒适的在室内拖鞋，就是 slippers 当中。再举一个例子 Sarah found the online course helpful and decided to keep taking more classes. 我用两个哦，有 found 还有 keep, 然后后面接受词。OK， 然后当然还要再接形容词或者是一个介系词片语等等。刚刚例句是说 Sarah 发现这个线上课程很有帮助，决定继续这个研修修读更多的课程。
All right, so yes, a lot of the companies liked it. They found 92% found the 4-day work week superior, and they kept it. So it seemed to work for them because it was superior. It was better. Something that is superior is just better than another thing, all right? For example, here's a good example. This is definitely the superior joystick, so it's the one I will buy. I will be able to kill more aliens more quickly with this joystick because it's better or superior.Superior 就是优良的、更棒的，它是一个形容词。For example, this pizza place has the superior crust in town. It's so crispy and delicious. Ooh, sounds good. All right, so let's back to the article. It says this would suggest that a 4-day work week is the better option. But there are a few things to consider. We'll talk about those in the tomorrow's article. But yes, if 92% of and remember, these are the bosses saying, we liked it. It's not just the lazy workers who are saying this. This is also the bosses, the people who have to make sure the company is still working well. They liked it, and they would keep the 4-day work week because it's superior. So that suggests or gives us this strong idea that maybe it is the better or superior option.
真的耶，这显示了4天工作周可能是更好的选择 option 就是选择但是还是当然有一些事情需要考虑啦。那刚刚还提到 suggest 在这里的意思是显示或是表示还有意味着的意思哦。Now we have a for you chat question, don't we?
I will ask it. So our chat question is, would you prefer a 4-day work week with longer work days? Why or why not?I
would totally prefer a 4-day work week because it means having an extra day to relax and enjoy myself. Plus, with longer work days, I can fully immerse myself in tasks and have more uninterrupted time to get things done. It's like having a mini weekend every week.Absolutely.
It's like having a long weekend every week, and that would be special until it became normal. But at least it would be nice to try. All right, guys, we're going to have more about the 4-day work week, some of the good, some of the bad, some interesting things to consider or think about as we might be making this change in the future. But we'll see you tomorrow. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Vocabulary Review
Weekly.There's a weekly show about Taiwanese culture that I love to watch. It's on every Tuesday evening. Reduce. After Jason reduced the amount of sugar in his diet, he started losing weight right away. Employee. Because of his hard work, Nathan was voted the company's best employee last month. Salary.Georgina did so well at work that her boss increased her salary 30%. Complaint. When another worker was rude to Margaret in the meeting, she made a complaint to her boss. Superior. These vegetables are superior to the ones you find in supermarkets because we grow them ourselves without chemicals.
智慧小补帖
Unwind. Shift. Option.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net